What's going on, guys? It's Greg here today, bringing you a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 gameplay commentary. You should be watching here. In the background is a 70-2 using the M13B in ground war. I wanted to show off the power of this gun while I was going for some of my final camo challenges on the gun, such as the long shots and headshots. So hopefully, you guys will enjoy the gameplay in the background. Like I said, I went 70-2 in the gameplay in the background. We were running the counter UAV, the VTOL jet, and the gunship, and I think I'm going to start doing this for you guys more often with the ground war gameplays this year. Is I'm going to be switching up my kill streaks and trying to have some rather interesting scores with interesting streaks. And I even tried to go for a nuke in this gameplay, but I ended up not having enough time towards the end. I think I might have went on like a 22 or something, so could have potentially had a nuke, but it is what it is. Anyways, ground war in Modern Warfare 2, as we discussed, has some form of skill-based matchmaking, so I find myself getting these really high scores much less than I did in Modern Warfare 2019, but at the end of the day, they feel much more rewarding to get now that I don't get them maybe quite as often as I did back in Modern Warfare 2019, because as you guys know, back in the day, if you've been a long-time subscriber of mine, I used to upload a lot of 100+, a lot of nukes, all that kind of stuff from ground war, and this time around, I gotta be honest with you guys, it's a lot harder because a lot of the guys in these lobbies tend to stay to rooftops with snipers, and they kind of know what's going on in that regard, and they'll just pick you off from across the map, so you're like never safe. And part of me wants to start running high alert, but the other part of me knows that there's probably a lot of people who stick to rooftops around cold-blooded, so that way VTOLs and thermals and all that kind of stuff can't mark them. So that other part of me is just not really wanting to put on high alert, and on top of that, the UAV spam in ground war is insane, which is why I always recommend you guys run the Ghost perk as your ultimate perk. But it's unfortunate that, you know, Ghost and some of the other perks that I would maybe like to use in the ultimate category, they're just, it's in ground war, it's like, why would I use something else when there's always a million UAVs going up at all times? So anyways, a lot of these guys were lurking their spawn, and I tend to just go where the action is. And since there were a lot of enemy players, for whatever reason, lurking the spawn, not really playing around the flags all that much, I decided to come up here and try to pick them off, so that way I could earn some streaks and get some things going, so I could destroy vehicles and other kind of stuff with the gunship. And you guys will see that's exactly what I'm doing here. So if you notice your enemies are kind of lurking spawn quite a bit, then you might want to push up a little bit more. You might want to try to get some angles into a nice building or something, or a nice area of the map that puts you in the middle of all the action. You guys can see on the UAV, there's a lot of enemy players in this general area. So I'm going to go ahead up top here, try to get a little bit of a different angle. And I believe there's a guy up here or something. Yeah, I think he was ghosted. So you always got to be careful for ghosted players. That proximity mine kind of told me that there might be a player nearby, and I should probably pre-aim that, because if there's a prox mine up there, there's probably someone chilling up there. Anyways, one of these guys wanted to come back for me, and this is one of the things I used to love about whenever I played Modern Warfare 2019, as I would kind of create my own flow on the map by playing an area like this and picking off a lot of different people. There's usually going to be like one or two people that just keep coming back for you, and that's worked here in this match. You guys will see there's people that keep trying to come back to kill me here, which as a result is going to give me my streaks and going to be able to help me to increase my score, and on top of that be able to eventually, one of my favorite things to do this year is kind of assist my team by taking out vehicles with the gunship, and you guys will see that in this gameplay as I mentioned. So we're on a 10 kill streak right now, and I'm still looking for some angles. It was kind of unfortunate running Scorestreaks, because Scorestreaks increase the overall cost of your kill streak rewards. As you can see, the gunship's 1500, I'm earning 100 points per kill, which means now the gunship is a 15 kill streak if I'm not mixing in any sort of extra score. So that's kind of unfortunate, and the reason for that is because, you know, normally I will play the flags and stuff, but whenever I join in late, I saw we were winning, and as well as a lot of these enemies were in their spawn, and that's why I decided not really to hop the flags all that much. As you guys can see, these guys are still looking for me, and I'm able to finally pick up my gunship, and for whatever reason, this tank was just looking for me. It's the guy that kept coming back, so I really just kind of laugh whenever I see players do that kind of thing, because if you are a tanker, you never want to just focus on a single infantry, and the reason for this is simply because you could be doing so much more. If you have score streaks enabled, you can use a tank, you can capture an objective and you'll get that score for it. Now, getting kills in your tank won't earn you score towards your score streaks, but doing other things and objective play and all that kind of stuff and taking out other vehicles and destroying them will earn you score, and that will allow you to go ahead and assist your team in other ways, and you'll be able to get some of those streaks that maybe you're trying to work towards. So as you can see here in ground war, I get another gunship, or I get my first gunship, and I'm calling it up. I tried to take out the vehicle, but the angles were a little bit awkward. And you guys can see that this was a problem I had with the gunship in Modern Warfare 2019, was the angles. You don't really get the best of angles sometimes, depending on where the enemies are located. But I was able to take out one of the vehicles that was just kind of lurking in their spawn, and I wanted to take out the helicopter so they didn't have spawns all over the place on the map. But unfortunately, that didn't end up working out. So as you guys can see, right now I'm trying to look for some more kills. And another tip I want to give you guys whenever it comes to ground war gameplay is, if you guys are wondering how I'm able to take my enemies out with ease at longer ranges, that is because I opt for recoil control and bullet velocity whenever I build my classes in the ground war game mode. So whenever I am playing ground war, I tend to run the high velocity ammo type, because high velocity drastically increases your bullet velocity across a lot of various weapons, and I think it is overall one of the best ammo types you could possibly use in ground war, because bullet velocity is such an important stat. On top of that, I like to also opt for recoil stabilization to reduce horizontal recoil, and the reason for this is so that way at longer ranges I have a much easier time of controlling recoil, and I could just go for those vertical recoil shots, right? Like, I just have to control the vertical recoil. I don't have to worry about my gun bouncing side to side, which means I can have a much better chance of beaming my enemies compared to using a lot of bullets to spray at them. Now, you guys might be wondering, why am I only running 30-round mags in ground war compared to Modern Warfare 2019, where I used to actually run bigger mags, and I used to use, let's say, a 60-round or a 50-round mag, and it's simply because I find that the aim down sights time with a bigger mag and the overall movement speed and all that kind of stuff is just way too slow. So I do not like using those kind of mags here in Modern Warfare 2. I really hope InfinityWard maybe changes it. I feel like, of course, I know there's going to be the people out there like, well, having more ammo in your gun is realistic. I mean, yeah, but I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think it's going to change how I'm going to aim down my gun all that much. And I also just don't really feel like a heavier mag is really going to slow me down that much. I mean, I've held weapons before, I've shot various guns before in real life, and I think that the movement speed penalties that we see here in Modern Warfare 2 are absolutely overdone compared to real life, you know? I mean, if anything, you know, I don't think you'd be running around with a RAL MG in real life, you know? That's my counter argument to you, good sir. I don't think I'm going to see someone bunny hopping with a RAL MG IRL, so that's my point. Anyways, as you guys can see, these guys were spawning in here at A because it was their only flag, and I don't believe the heli was out. So I was able to lurk this area because the enemies were spawning here, and they were actively spawning here, which means I could get some nice kills and stuff of that nature. And this is more of like that Modern Warfare 2019 spawn trap action going on here. I'm going to play this rooftop real quick because I don't want the tanks that are around here to get me, and especially because I'm getting close to another gunship, I'm going to try to capitalize off that. You guys can see there's people here on the rooftop, and the reason I didn't target them right away is because I know that I have the advantage up here. They weren't paying attention, and I want to make sure no one was climbing up the ladder, so that way I wouldn't be taken out or try to have to react to that person. So just kind of using some target acquisition, you know, trying to prioritize my targets and all that kind of stuff. And as you can see right here, this is why I like something that's going to reduce horizontal recoil, namely an underbarrel. I think I had the FTAC Ripper 56 on in this gameplay. I don't really know the best combo for the M13B. I haven't used this gun enough yet, but I will tell you that this combination is pretty good. I do like it quite a bit, and you guys can see here, I was finishing up my Orion camo challenge, or not the calling card challenge, rather, on my P820s, and That's why I like these secondaries. They are really good secondaries, but I was mainly using them to get my Ryan calling card challenges done. And we get our second gunship here, and I'm at 51 kills, and now I'm going to call this one in. I don't really remember if this was a good gunship or not, but you guys will see here that pretty much any non-cold-blooded player I'm pretty much just going to be going after, especially trying to clear off those rooftops, trying to create some more flow and stuff on the map, so that way my teammates have an easier time of trying to find the enemies and trying to maybe get some streaks of their own. You guys even saw earlier that there was an advanced UAV called in from a random teammate, so that was highly appreciated, especially when I was in their spawn like that and I was able to get a lot of kills in order to earn this gunship. And if you have a teammate who gets you a UAV and you're in a good position, or an advanced UAV, you can use that to try to rotate around and get better positioning, or if you're already in a good position, obviously you can capitalize off that to try to get some easier streaks and all that stuff of that nature. And if you're trying to play the objective, which again, most of my gameplays are me capturing flags and things of that nature, not necessarily like this. This is kind of like one of those one-off games, because I find in this game, if I really want to get my streaks, I just go play the objective and try to capture and get as many capture kills as I possibly can, or I'll defend an objective that we already own and maybe the enemies are really trying to go for it. And you can earn your streaks with Scorestreaks so much faster that way, so that's usually the way I try to play Modern Warfare 2 Ground War. But on the other hand, in this match, a lot of these guys, like I said, they were kind of playing back towards their spawn a little bit, just kind of like one of those lobbies I got into, I guess, and just happened to play out that way. Anyways, there's a guy on this rooftop here. He shot his gun, and this is one of the things about Ghost and not using a suppressor in this game, is the suppressor actually disables your Ghost perk. So you got to be mindful of that whenever you're rotating and you're trying to pick gunfights, because if there is an enemy UAV up in the air and you go ahead and you shoot a suppressed weapon, it's actually going to disable your Ghost perk. If the UAV happens to sweep over you while that Ghost perk is disabled, then you're going to appear on the radar. And yeah, I really hope InfinityWard changes this, because suppressors are supposed to be about stealth, but stealth was heavily nerfed in this game, so is what it is. Anyways, I'm going to come up here. I pick a couple of these guys off from behind, and there's an APC here, which means they're going to be spawning not only on top of B because the flag they own, but also the APC because the APC is a mobile spawn point, so I'm able to take a couple guys out. That guy's using Last Stand. Useless perk, don't ever run that crap. But anyways, 70-2, we ended up winning the game. I didn't play the objective much in his gameplay, but I did take out a lot of vehicles and things of that nature, and most of my gameplays here on the channel are much more objective-oriented, and some of the gameplays I have coming up for you guys. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of the breakdown, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a great day, peace out, and yeah, we'll see you then.